bold trade scenario is gaining traction that could solve the Golden State Warriors' biggest defensive problem, but it comes with one of the biggest gambles in the entire league. In a proposed three-team deal, the Warriors are projected to acquire defensive specialist Jonathan Isaac, a move that would signal a dramatic shift in their team-building philosophy to address their aging core. The hypothetical trade, detailed by Rowan Rahman of Sports Illustrated, would see the Warriors receive Jonathan Isaac, Jett Howard, and Mo Gay from the Orlando Magic. In return, the Magic would get Moses Moody and Gue Santos, while the Atlanta Hawks would acquire Goga Bitadze and a 2027 first-round pick. The logic behind this move is clear. The Warriors dynasty was built on the versatility of Draymond Green at center, but with Green now 35 and the lead trending bigger, the need for a legitimate, defensive-minded forward has become critical. Jonathan Isaac is being positioned as the answer to that problem. The on-court impact for Golden State will be centered entirely on Isaac's elite defensive prowess. Despite an inconsistent offensive game and a troubling injury history, his defensive metrics are undeniable. Last season, he posted a 4.1% block rate, placing him in the 100th percentile for all forwards. He combines that with an elite 2.4% steal percentage and dominant rebounding, grabbing nearly 10.3% of available offensive boards. For a Warriors team that has struggled on the glass and needs a defensive anchor to manage Green's workload, Isaac's skill set is, on paper, a perfect fit. Analytically, however, this is a classic high-risk, high-reward move. The Warriors will be trading a reliable young player in Moses Moody for a talent who has struggled to stay on the court for his entire career. The potential benefits are immense. Isaac could provide elite rim protection and defensive versatility, allowing Green to preserve his body for playoffs. But the risk is just as significant. For the other teams, the deal makes sense. The Magic trade an injury-prone player for young, offensive-minded talent that fits their rebuilding timeline, while the Hawks add front-court depth and a valuable future first-round pick. Looking ahead, this trade would create two drastically different futures for the Warriors. If Isaac stays healthy, he could become a defensive linchpin that extends their championship window. If his injury problems persist, the Warriors will have given up a valuable asset for nothing, potentially closing that window for good. It's a gamble that could either redefine their defense or hamstring their future flexibility. This proposal forces a fascinating debate. Is Jonathan Isaac's game-changing defense worth the undeniable risk, or should the Warriors pursue a safer, more reliable option? Let us know if you think this is a risk worth taking in the comments below. Ultimately, this isn't just a trade for a player. It's a bet on whether the Warriors' culture and system can resurrect a phenomenal talent. It's the kind of creative, high-stakes move that could determine whether this dynasty gets one more shot at a title. What if the greatest rivalry of a generation became the most dominant alliance in NBA history? It's the ultimate, what a scenario that has captivated basketball fans for years. And after their dominant run together in the 2024 Olympics, the question is louder than ever. Could LeBron James and Stephen Curry actually team up in the NBA? While it sounds like a fantasy, a new blockbuster trade proposal suggests a pathway for this dream to become a shocking reality. The context for this seismic shift is the diverging timelines of two of California's most storied franchises. The Golden State Warriors are in full win-now mode, assembling a veteran-heavy roster around Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green for one last championship run. Meanwhile, the Los Angeles Lakers are reportedly beginning to pivot towards their future, an era set to be defined by their new superstar, Luka Doncic. With reports suggesting LeBron is desperate for one more legitimate title shot, the stage is set for a potential move. This brings us to a blockbuster trade idea, proposed by Eric Beeson of Bleacher Report, that would send shockwaves through the entire league. The proposal sees the Golden State Warriors making a historic trade for LeBron James. In return, the Lakers would receive a package built for their new timeline, headlined by young, high-upside players Jonathan Kuminga and Brandon Podziemski, along with a substantial collection of future draft picks. As Beeston notes, his best chance at winning a fifth NBA title is no longer in Los Angeles, where the front office is transitioning from a team centered around the generational great to one led by Luka Doncic. For the Warriors, the logic is simple and electrifying. Pairing LeBron James with Stephen Curry would create arguably the most skilled and highest IQ offensive duo in the history of the sport. It would be the ultimate all-in move, putting them at the absolute center of the basketball universe and making them the undisputed favorites to win the NBA title. It would also keep LeBron in California, a known preference of the king. But why would the Lakers ever trade LeBron James, one of the greatest players of all time? The answer lies in one name: Luka Doncic. This trade isn't about getting rid of LeBron. It's about accelerating the rebuild around their new franchise cornerstone. Kuminga, an explosive athletic forward, and Podziemski, a high IQ combo guard, are perfect building blocks to place around Doncic. They get younger, acquire valuable assets, and fully commit to Luka era, all while doing right by LeBron by sending him to a situation where he can immediately compete for a championship. Let's be clear. The idea of trading a player of LeBron James' stature is almost unprecedented. It's the stuff of fantasy basketball. The Lakers would not simply release him. A trade is the only mechanism for a move of this magnitude. But with the Warriors having reportedly called the Lakers about a James trade in the past, the foundation for a conversation is already there. So we have to ask, is this the ultimate dream scenario for Golden State, or a fantasy trade that has zero chance of happening? Would you make this trade if you were the Warriors, giving up your best young assets for one last legendary run? Let us know in the comments. It's a move that would shatter the NBA landscape. It's a conversation that pits legacy against logic, and it's the biggest what if of the entire NBA offseason.